First contact and deception. The vast emptiness of deep space stretched before the UES Defiant as it glided silently through the darkness, the distant stars mere pinpricks of light against the infinite void. Captain Alina Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the main viewscreen, hands clasped behind her back. What had begun as a routine exploration mission to the edges of charted space had just become something far more significant. Captain, multiple contacts at bearing 047 Mark 12, reported Lieutenant Commander Jackson from the tactical station. Configuration unknown. Not matching any known human signatures. Chen nodded calmly, though her heart raced. Humanity had been venturing beyond their solar system for nearly 3 decades, establishing research outposts and small colonies, but actual contact with intelligent alien life had remained elusive. Until now, perhaps. Yellow alert. Power up defensive systems but keep weapons cold, she ordered. Let's not make first contact with guns blazing. Communications, prepare first contact protocols. The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency as the Defiant systems hummed to life beneath their feet. On the exterior, the vessel appeared to be a standard exploration cruiser, sleek but unremarkable. Only those who served aboard her knew what truly lurked beneath her unassuming hull. The vessels are altering course, Captain Jackson reported. They're on an intercept trajectory. Sensors indicate energy readings consistent with weapons powering up. Hold position, Chen commanded. Let them make the first move. The alien vessels approached rapidly, their design unlike anything in human records. Sharp, angular ships with protruding spines that glowed with pulsing blue energy. They moved with precision, forming a half-circle around the Defiant. Incoming transmission, announced Lieutenant Park from communications. They're broadcasting on multiple frequencies. The universal translator is processing. We have a match, Captain. Chen straightened her uniform. On screen. The view screen flickered, revealing the humanoid figure with iridescent blue-green skin, elongated features, and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. When it spoke, its voice carried an electronic undertone that the translator struggled to smooth out. Unidentified vessel, this is High Commander Vexthar of the Xeraxian Empire. You have entered sovereign Xeraxian space. Identify yourself and prepare for boarding and classification. Captain Chen stepped forward. This is Captain Alina Chen of the United Earth ship Defiant. We are on a peaceful exploration mission, and we're unaware this region belonged to any civilization. We welcome peaceful contact and the exchange of knowledge. The alien commander's upper eyes narrowed. Scans indicate your vessel utilizes primitive fusion propulsion and rudimentary defensive capabilities. Your technology classification is Level 3, barely sufficient for interstellar travel. The Xeraxian Empire does not negotiate with pre-ascension species. You will surrender your vessel for study and your crew for categorization. Chen's first officer, Commander Ramirez, leaned close. Captain, they're scanning us, but they're only detecting our surface systems. The masking technology is working. They can't see what we're really carrying. She nodded almost imperceptibly. Earth's strategy had always been cautious. When humanity finally ventured to the stars, they did so with vessels that concealed their true technological capabilities beneath layers of seemingly primitive systems. The Defiant was their most advanced ship, designed to appear unremarkable, while housing technology that had remained classified even from most of Earth's own citizens. High Commander, Chen replied evenly, we mean no disrespect to the Xeraxian Empire, but we cannot surrender our vessel or crew. We propose a peaceful exchange of representatives to establish diplomatic relations between our peoples. The alien's face contorted in what might have been amusement or disgust. Your proposal is noted and rejected, Captain Chen. Your species' arrogance is typical of evolutionary dead ends. Observe. The screen split to show a small research outpost on Proxima Centauri, humanity's first extrasolar facility. A beam of energy lanced out from one of the Xeraxian vessels, striking the outpost's main dome. The protective shield flickered briefly before collapsing, exposing the structure to the planet's thin, unbreathable atmosphere. "Emergency containment activated at Proxima Station," reported Ramirez, his voice tight. "Minimal casualties, but they've lost their primary life support. 212 scientists and support staff are now running on emergency systems with approximately 6 hours of breathable air." Chen's expression remained neutral, but her eyes hardened to obsidian. "You've attacked an unarmed scientific outpost, High Commander. This is an act of war against Earth." "No, Captain," Vexthar replied coldly. "This is a demonstration. Your species has not yet earned the right to declare war. You have not even earned the right to negotiate. You have one of your Earth hours to surrender, or we will destroy your vessel and proceed to your homeworld for full species assessment and potential harvesting." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the bridge in silence. For several long seconds, no one spoke. "Status of the Ziraxian fleet?" Chen finally asked. Jackson answered immediately. 12 vessels, Captain. Their weapons are powered but not yet locked on us. They're maintaining formation, probably confident we can't escape or pose a threat. And they're broadcasting," added Park, "sending signals far beyond this system. They're calling observers. They want an audience for this." Chen's lips curled into a smile that never reached her eyes. "Of course they do. A primitive species surrendering to the might of their empire. Quite the spectacle." She turned to face her bridge crew. "Well, I think it's time we revisited humanity's first contact protocols, don't you?" She pressed a button on her command chair. "All hands, this is the captain speaking. As you're aware, we've encountered an alien civilization that has demonstrated hostile intent against Earth. They believe us to be technologically inferior and expect our immediate surrender." She paused. "They are about to learn a valuable lesson about making assumptions. Battle stations, prepare to unveil our first-tier systems." Throughout the Defiant, hidden panels slid open, revealing advanced weapon systems that had remained dormant since the ship's launch. In engineering, Chief Engineer Torres initiated the quantum core, replacing the visible fusion reactions that had powered their journey thus far. The ship's hull began to shimmer as next-generation metamaterials activated, transforming the vessel's apparent structure at the molecular level. "Sensors detect the Ziraxians are scanning us again," reported Jackson. "They're confused. Sir, they're adjusting their scan parameters, trying to understand what's happening to our ship." "Open a channel," Chen ordered. Vexthar's face appeared on screen, his 4 eyes widened in what appeared to be shock or alarm. "What trickery is this?" "Your vessel is changing." "High Commander," Chen replied calmly, "I believe there's been a misunderstanding. You see, Earth has a policy when venturing into unknown space. We don't show all our cards at once." The Defiant's exterior now gleamed with a subtle, shifting pattern as advanced armor systems came online. "You attacked an unarmed research station with scientists and families. You threatened my planet based on incomplete information." "Impossible," the alien commander hissed. "No Level 3 civilization could conceal such technology. Your deception will not save you." 3 Ziraxian vessels broke formation, weapons charged and targeting the Defiant. "I was hoping for diplomacy," Chen said, almost regretfully. "But it seems a demonstration of our own is required." She nodded to Jackson. "Tactical, disable those 3 vessels. Minimal casualties if possible." "Aye, Captain." The Defiant's newly revealed weapon systems hummed to life. From recessed points along the hull, streams of particles accelerated to near-light speed erupted, precisely striking the propulsion systems of all 3 attacking vessels simultaneously. The Ziraxian ships spun out of control, their engines dark, weapon systems offline. The bridge of the Ziraxian command ship erupted in chaos as Vexthar barked orders at his subordinates. When he turned back to the screen, his composure had cracked. "What are you?" he demanded. Captain Chen leaned forward slightly. "We are humanity, High Commander. and we're just getting started. Proving humanity's worth. Silence hung in the void of space as the disabled Ziraxian vessels drifted helplessly, their once threatening posture now reduced to impotent floating. On the bridge of the UES Defiant, Captain Chen watched as High Commander Vexthar struggled to process what had just occurred. Behind his four eyes, she could almost see the calculations and recalibrations happening. A species that had clearly grown accustomed to technological superiority now faced with evidence that contradicted their entire worldview. "Your vessels are disabled but intact," Chen informed him. "Their life support systems remain functional. I suggest you reconsider your assessment of humanity, High Commander." Vexthar's upper eyes narrowed while his lower ones darted to displays off-screen. A deception of this magnitude violates all established protocols of civilized space. The Ziraxian Empire does not recognize technological concealment as a legitimate strategy. And yet here we are, Chen replied evenly. "I'm transmitting coordinates for a neutral location where we can meet to discuss terms. My first officer, Commander Ramirez, will lead our diplomatic team. In the meantime, I expect immediate cessation of all hostile actions against human outposts and vessels." The alien commander's skin flushed a deeper blue, anger, perhaps, or embarrassment. The Ziraxian Empire does not negotiate with pre-ascension species. "Yes, you mentioned that," Chen interrupted. "But I think we've demonstrated that your classification system has a few flaws. You have 30 minutes to begin withdrawal from Proxima Centauri, or we will be forced to take more decisive action." She signaled to Park to cut the transmission. The image of the furious alien commander vanished from the screen. "They're not going to retreat," Ramirez noted, stepping closer to Chen's command chair. "Their entire social structure appears to be built around technological hierarchy. Admitting they were wrong about us would undermine their authority." Chen nodded. "I know, but I had to give them the chance." She turned to Jackson. "Status of their fleet. The remaining 9 vessels are regrouping, Captain. They're establishing a defensive formation. And wait." Jackson frowned at his display. "Long-range sensors are detecting spatial distortions. More ships incoming, lots of them." "Reinforcements," Chen said grimly. "They're doubling down. How long?" "At current FTL signatures, approximately 18 minutes until arrival." Chen rose from her chair, pacing the bridge as she considered their options. The Defiant was powerful, but not invincible. They had revealed only their first tier of hidden technology, enough to surprise the Ziraxians, but not their full capabilities. Using everything they had might win this battle, but would reveal too much to watching eyes. "Communications, are the Ziraxians still broadcasting this encounter?" she asked. Park nodded. "Yes, Captain. Signal strength has actually increased. Whatever's coming to help them, they want the audience to see it." A smile slowly spread across Chen's face. "Then let's make sure they get a proper show. Engineering, prepare for full spectrum revelation." Chief Engineer Torres's voice came through the comm system. "Captain, are you sure? Protocol states that final tier systems should only be activated in existential emergencies, I know." Chen finished for him. "But sometimes the best defense is making sure no one wants to attack you in the first place. Proceed with the preparations." As the minutes ticked by, the crew of the Defiant worked with determined efficiency. Across the ship, systems that had never been activated outside of Earth's most secure testing facilities came online. The hull's molecular structure continued to shift, now incorporating elements that defied conventional physics. "Incoming transmission from Proxima Station," Park announced. On screen, Chen ordered. Dr. Eliza Okafor, the station's director, appeared. Behind her, scientists worked frantically to repair systems. "Captain Chen, we've stabilized our life support, but we can't sustain it for more than 12 hours. Our reinforcements coming." "Hold tight, Doctor. We're handling the situation," Chen assured her. "How are your people?" "Scared but resolute. We lost 3 in the initial attack. They were in the outer dome when it breached." Okafor's voice cracked slightly. "Captain, these aliens, they fired without warning. No demands, no communication." Chen's expression hardened. "I know, and they'll answer for it." Defiant out, the screen returned to the view of space, where the Ziraxian fleet maintained its position. 5 minutes until reinforcements arrive, Jackson reported. Chen returned to her chair. "Open a channel to High Commander Vexthar." The alien's face appeared on screen, now composed and confident once more. "Captain Chen, I see you've detected our incoming battle group. The Grand Executor himself has taken interest in your unusual vessel. He will oversee your species' proper classification personally." "High Commander, I'm giving you one final opportunity to withdraw," Chen stated firmly. "We have no desire for conflict, but we will defend ourselves and our outposts." Vexthar's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture that seemed almost like laughter. "Your single vessel, however disguised, cannot stand against a Ziraxian battle group. The Grand Executor commands 50 ships, each capable of reducing a small moon to asteroid debris. Your deception has merely elevated your species from unremarkable to curiously persistent." "Very well," Chen nodded to Jackson, who terminated the connection. She addressed her bridge crew. "They've made their choice. Activate all defensive systems. Prepare the Alcubierre manifold and quantum entanglement weapons." The space around the Defiant began to distort subtly as gravitational fields warped and bent. The ship's hull now gleamed with an opalescent sheen that seemed to shift between solid matter and pure energy. "Spatial disruption increasing," reported Jackson. "First vessels of the Ziraxian battle group emerging now." One by one, massive warships tore holes in the fabric of space, emerging into normal space in a breathtaking display of power. Each dwarfed the Defiant, bristling with weapon emplacements, and surrounded by energy fields that crackled with barely contained power. At the center of the formation, a vessel twice the size of the others emerged. The flagship, presumably carrying this Grand Executor. Its design was more ornate, with glowing runes etched into its hull that pulsed with unknown energy. "Incoming transmission from the Ziraxian flagship," Park announced. The view screen activated to show a Ziraxian with elaborate facial markings and ceremonial armor. 6 eyes rather than 4 regarded them with cold calculation. "I am Grand Executor Jokarath of the Ziraxian Dominion," the alien intoned. "Your resistance has been noted and will be studied. Prepare for..." He stopped mid-sentence, his many eyes widening as his instruments presumably revealed what the Defiant had become. The human vessel now hung in space like a mirage, its true form seemingly wavering between dimensions. Where once had been a conventional hull now existed a lattice of exotic matter, manipulating the very fabric of space-time around it. "What manner of technology is this?" the Grand Executor demanded. "Our sensors cannot categorize your vessel's composition." Captain Chen stood tall. "Grand Executor, your forces attacked an unarmed scientific outpost and threatened Earth with invasion based on false assumptions about our technological capabilities. Humanity has chosen to reveal only what is necessary to ensure peaceful coexistence. What you see now is merely the surface of what we can do." As if to emphasize her point, the space around the Defiant rippled. Suddenly, where there had been one ship, there were now 5 identical vessels. Perfect quantum duplicates sharing the same space-time coordinates through principles that violated conventional physics. "Impossible," Jokarath exclaimed. "No civilization has achieved stable quantum superposition on a macroscopic scale." "And yet here we are," Chen replied, echoing her earlier words to Vexthar. "Grand Executor, humanity has no interest in conquest or domination. We explore, we learn, we grow. But make no mistake, we will defend ourselves." To demonstrate, one of the Defiant's quantum duplicates fired a single, precisely targeted pulse at an uninhabited asteroid near the Ziraxian fleet. The asteroid didn't explode or shatter. It simply ceased to exist, the matter converted instantly into pure energy that dissipated harmlessly into space. Silence fell across all communication channels. On the various alien vessels, Chen could imagine the frantic discussions, the revaluation of strategies, the dawning realization that they had fundamentally misjudged humanity. "Your broadcasting signal remains active, Grand Executor," Chen noted. "I imagine civilizations across your region of space are watching this encounter with great interest. I wonder how many of them have also been categorized, classified, and possibly subjugated by your empire." Jokerath's expression was unreadable, but the tension in his posture was evident. "What do you propose, Captain Chen?" "Simple. Immediate withdrawal from human space, reparations for the attack on our research station, and formal recognition of Earth as a sovereign and equal power with all rights and protections that entails. The Xeraxian Empire does not recognize equality with." "Then perhaps," Chen interrupted gently, "it's time for the Xeraxian Empire to evolve. As we have. As all species must." She gestured, and the quantum duplicates of the Defiant synchronized, creating a harmonic resonance that made the very fabric of space vibrate in a display of power that was as beautiful as it was terrifying. "We can continue this demonstration if necessary," she added, "or we can begin a new chapter in both our histories, one based on mutual respect rather than hierarchical domination." Hours later, after tense negotiations and the arrival of diplomatic vessels from Earth, Captain Chen stood alone in her ready room, staring out at the stars. The door chimed softly. "Enter," she called. Commander Ramirez stepped in, holding a datapad. "The Xeraxian delegation has signed the preliminary agreement, Captain. They're withdrawing from Proxima Centauri, and their medical teams are already assisting at the research station." Chen nodded. "And the observers? The civilizations that were watching?" "That's actually the most interesting part," Ramirez said with a hint of excitement. "We've received 17 requests for direct communication from previously unknown species. Apparently, not everyone appreciated the Xeraxian approach to galactic politics. So we've made friends and enemies in our first week of official first contact," Chen mused. "About what I expected." "There's something else," Ramirez added. "Intelligence analysis of the Xeraxian communications suggests they've encountered other species that practice technological concealment. They just hadn't encountered one that concealed quite so much." Chen smiled. "Humans didn't invent deception, Commander. We just perfected it." She turned from the window to face her first officer. "Send word to Earth. Tell them first contact protocols were successful, but we're going to need more ships out here. The galaxy just got a lot more interesting." As the Defiant hung in space, its true nature once again concealed beneath layers of misdirection, the message of humanity's emergence spread across the stars. Earth had announced itself not with conquest or subjugation, but with cunning and restraint, revealing just enough of their true capabilities to ensure respect without inspiring fear. Across countless worlds, beings of all forms and philosophies contemplated what this might mean for the galactic order. Humanity had proven itself not just technologically advanced, but strategically wise, a rare combination that made them either valuable allies or dangerous adversaries. And aboard the Defiant, Captain Alina Chen prepared for whatever would come next, confident that humanity had earned its place among the stars not through dominance, but through the uniquely human talent of appearing to be exactly what others needed to see, until the moment called for something more.